disruption from your regularly scheduled DC cosplay content. We got to talk about Agatha all along. I have not talked about the first 3 episodes. The first 2 episodes, we're on the third one. We're just going to continue on here, and I'm going to continue updating y'all as I continue to watch Agatha all along. But I have an Agatha all along theory that's going to blow y'all minds. I'm just going to use this picture for most of the video because it has all the characters that I need to talk about. But basically, in this episode, we learn that Agatha sold her son off, or gave her son off to presumably Mephisto in order to get the Darkhold and all of its power. So basically, in this episode, we are informed that going forward in the rest of the series is going to be a bunch of trials with a bunch of the witches to make sure that they still know the craft and know how to, do what they need to do in order to be witches, right? Today was Jen's episode. Everybody got wine poisoned and everybody was shown very traumatic memories from their past. Agatha specifically was shown the Darkhold in a cradle with baby crying noises, and when she pulled back the covers, you saw the Darkhold underneath those covers, and she jumped back in horror because she was terrified. But, the fact that she gave up her child to Mephisto had me thinking, right? Mephisto has that soul, right? Who else do we know took souls from Mephisto to make her children, presumably, or at least in the comics? The Scarlet Witch. The Scarlet Witch in the comics stole 2 soul fragments from Mephisto in order to create Billy and Tommy Maximoff, right? But, she ended up having to give them back because of circumstances, and Mephisto was angry, so on and so forth. So basically, my theory is, I think Wanda inadvertently took the soul fragments from Mephisto, right? And one of those soul fragments being Agatha's son, which I think is Teen. I know that's confusing, but stay with me, y'all. Stay with me. Right, so when Wanda created the Hex, I think she stole those soul fragments, one of them being Agatha's son, right? We have the whole WandaVision show go on, and then after that, she brings it down. So, obviously, the soul is left lingering without a body. I think it stays in Westview for 3 years, and then Agatha mentions a car crash in Eastview explaining Wanda's death, or somehow she thinks they're related, right? And Eastview, there was that car crash, right? The only person we know from Eastview in the show is Teen, right? I think Teen got in a car crash, right? I think he died. But this soul fragment, who is Billy Maximoff / Agatha's son, went over and inhabited his body. And ever since that moment, he may or may not have been obsessed with magic. Or he could have been obsessed with magic before this point, which is why the soul chose his body. But still, you get the point. And I think it would make a lot of sense because Agatha is very protective over Teen. It could be because she's trying to fill the void of her lost child that she's always felt, because she's always had some sort of, chemistry with Wanda's children when she took them for that one episode when Wanda was going bonkers and couldn't figure out her powers. She was kind of trying to bond with them, and she kind of had chemistry with them since Wanda had her children in WandaVision. But there's something between these two. I do think that he's going to end up being Billy Kaplan, a.k.a. Wiccan, a.k.a. The Scarlet Witch's son in Marvel in general. But I think Kevin Feige likes to throw little nuggets and to throw us off. I think the foreshadowing is going to foreshadow him being Agatha's son, but we're going to learn that he's also somewhat Wanda's son, so it's going to be a little bit confusing going forward. Sorry this video is so long, but I really had to get this off my chest.